Today, we're going to look at NECA's Hellraiser Ultimate Pinhead. Welcome back to the channel. Today we've got NECA's Ultimate Pinhead from the Hellraiser movie from 1987. So grew up with this movie. I was into my teenage years. You know, we went through Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees, and we need more and more. We kept getting them, and man, fell in love with Hellraiser. Great movie. Great sex scenes, just top-notch teenage fun right here. Absolute fun. Now, I still watch this movie every Halloween season, but usually only once a year, maybe twice a year I'll put this on. But Clive Barker actually wrote this. Absolute gold. So this was indeed his directorial debut. So Clive Barker, we hear that name, and it's out there with horror genius. You know, people think Clive Barker, they're thinking, you know, right up there with the rest of the great horror directors. And he has a special eye. He's got a lot of movies. Now, not as many as some of the other guys, but when you think of Nightbreed and you think of Hellraiser and all the Hellraiser prequels and sequels, and then you get the iconic Candyman. Yep, Candyman, another Clive Barker movie. But Lords of Illusion, a lot of good stuff by Clive Barker. But this was his first. He first made this movie and sent it over to the censorship people. The Motion Pictures Association of America sent him his first cut of the movie, and they sent it back and said, no, sir, you're not getting a rated R on this. We've got this rated X. Too much sex it had. Too much sex. And I have heard and read in a lot of interviews with Clive Barker that they told him that 3 buttock thrusts was one too many. And he actually cut out a 3rd buttock thrust by our antagonist, Frank, in the movie. When he was doing his thing with his brother's wife, he gave it 3 thrusts. And, the MPAA said, nuh-uh, not happening, not on our watch. You've got to break that down to 2 thrusts. So he did, and it got passed. There was some other things that got cut out. There was the scene where the hammer goes into the guy's head. I probably should tell you about the movie a little bit, but what it is a guy named Frank is over. I think you want to say it's probably Vietnam, and he was a soldier over there, and he went into a little store and bought this little box. It's kind of a puzzle box. And he figures out how to open it, and he opens this other realm where these demons come in, and they are called Cenobites, and that is what Pinhead is. But there's a lot of different ones, so I'm hoping maybe NECA will give us some of the other ones. Maybe they haven't, and they're just not on my radar yet. But so he opens this realm, and these Cenobites come in, and they hook these chains and hooks to him, and they just rip him apart. Now the Cenobites are mixed up. They get pleasure and pain mixed up. So it's in their realm. It's a different type of story. But anyway, so Frank's gone, and then the movie continues on, and the brother and his wife end up going to Frank's house and buys that house and moves in. Well, when the wife goes upstairs to Frank's bedroom, she finds a little chest in his bed. He's kind of a vagrant, you know, just barely making it through life when he was alive. But goes upstairs and pulls open his chest and finds a bunch of pictures of them having, you know, their good times. And so she shuffles them and hides them, but she still has feelings for this Frank, and he is dead, though. He is dead and gone. She's married to Frank's brother. Frank's brother has a kid from a previous wife, and she's a main character also. When they're moving their stuff in, Frank's brother cuts his hand on a nail head and drips blood, and the blood actually drips right where Frank was killed, where he was tore apart and pulled down into the other realm by the Cenobites. So that blood drips there, and that slowly starts bringing Frank back to life, but a little at a time. But what he needs is blood. He needs human flesh and blood to form himself back. So here he is. He's coming back, and it is disturbing looking. So he's in this attic room. Nobody goes up in it, but the wife does. The former lover of Frank goes up there and sees him, and he's like, he don't have any skin. Or you see tendons and veins and muscle, and he's like, he tells her what he needs. His plan is to come back to life and love her. And she actually still loves him. She really likes this Frank guy. And he says, I need you to bring me some victims, and what I'll do, you kill them, and I'll suck their blood and eat their flesh, and it'll help me come back to life and get stronger and stronger. So she does, and she brings these people in and kills them. The one guy she hits with a hammer right in the head, and the sensors, the hammer actually stuck in his head, but they said, no, you can't have it sticking. So all you get to see is the hammer hitting the head, and then it goes away, and he falls over, and then they pull the body in, and Frank eats the body and drains the fluids and the blood from him, and he gets stronger. And as you watch the movie, you start slowly seeing his flesh coming to him. You know, the next scene he's got a little more. Next scene he's got a one layer of skin, and it's pretty creepy, pretty graphic, but right up there with a teenager's what we want to see, man. We want to see this stuff. Very good stuff. She actually's kissing this guy, and you get all, ugh, look at him. He's yucky. But good stuff, good stuff. But anyways, Doug Bradley plays Pinhead, and he's a British actor, and this is his biggest role. Is the head of the Cenobites, this demonic realm of another beings that come in and tear people apart once you get that puzzle open. So that is what this is. This is Doug Bradley playing Pinhead. So checking out the box, all that to check out this box now. But you see the movie, you'll love it. But you see the big picture of Pinhead there. It says, demon to some, angel to others. And there's your puzzle box right on the front of it. It says, Hellraiser, he'll tear your soul apart. Ultimate Pinhead. That's a line he says in there. He goes, we'll tear your soul apart. Very iconic line right there in horror movies. So good. This side, great. Just Hellraiser red. Got NECA, real toys there. The other side is the same thing. Top, you get Hellraiser, NECA logo, ages 17 and over, warning, choking hazards. The bottom, you get your developers, your makers, your seamstresses right there. And on this one, we get directions how to open this. Now, I wish they would have gave directions for a creature from the Black Lagoon, because my fingers are still sore where his gills cut into my hand trying to take that head off. But here we get directions how to take his head off so you don't break those pins off of his head. But yeah, pretty awesome. In the back, we get pictures of our action figure there. Looks awesome. That is an actual picture of Doug Bradley as Pinhead right there holding the box. And I think that might actually be our action figure. I think it is our action. That's crazy how good that looks. I can't wait to get this out of the box. But yeah, we're going to take him out of the box from the bottom. So this is, I have not opened this one. Now I know I've opened some of my action figures, but this is one that I have not opened. So real excited about getting this one. out of the box. All right, reach in here and see if I can pull him out. There we go. And there's our empty box. Oh, I forgot to show inside. That stinks. Forgot to show him in there, but yeah, there it is. A great picture of him holding that puzzle box. Set that to the side, and here he is in his plastic coffin. Looks good. Looks good. Man, this looks awesome. All right, we'll take him out of the tray, and the tray is, look at that. It's the chains with the pieces of flesh and blood dripping off the hooks. So quite a scene, quite a scene. I mean, Clive Barker, what an imagination to come up with this. If it was not for Clive Barker, there would be nothing like this. Nothing at all. So, very nice. All right, we're going to start with accessories first. So we got our caps here. Now, this is a pretty early in NECA action figure here. There's a cap to the accessories. And I want to say we have a 2019 copyright date. So it's not as old as our Leatherface or some of our Friday the 13th, Jason Voorhees, but he's fairly old. So let's get this puzzle box out of here. And man, here it is. Check it out. I'll get close-ups of these. I know you can't really see that, but man, that is cool. Cool. So our puzzle box. And then we get one where our puzzle box is opening. It's kind of in this form right here. We'll get close-ups of those like I mentioned. Our other accessories, let's see, we got to take this cap off. And like I mentioned, I love these caps. It holds accessories right in there so they don't come unstowed, especially if you're a mint on card collector. If you're not going to open this up, you drop the box or something, all your accessories aren't going to come unstowed and go bouncing around in a box. But yeah, so appreciate those caps on there. All right, our first accessory here, or I guess I should say our third, is this hook-like item here. And that's going to grab somebody, and that is awesome. It's got a little blood on it, looks like. It's got a hook to it, so you can hook a chain to it if you want. Got to get a chain. We need a chain. Let's see, and our next accessory is going to be this ice pick looking knife thing, and he does use this stuff in the movie, but pretty awesome. A little blood on there too, all silver. It's got some patina, looks like, to it. Pretty good. Again, it has a hook for like where it looks like you're going to be able to hook a chain to it. And our last one is this baby right here, and this looks like a saw. I think it is like a jigsaw maybe, or a coping saw. Looks really cool, and it has the thing on it too for a chain, the little hooker right here. But yeah, very nice. All right, that is it for those accessories. Now we get extra hands. We get a left and a right, kind of semi-gripping hands, but it's got his gloves on there that go over his thumb and his pinky. A little bit of pink on them fingers there where he's gotten into some blood. It's very nice hands. And then we get a left and a right, really tight gripping hand. And this is going to be able to grip our weapons that he came with. The coping saw and the pick and the hook. So that's very nice. And again, little pink tint to him where he's got blood on him. Our last accessory is going to be his head. Now this does say on there, be careful, don't warp or bend or break your pins, but that's very good. We'll talk about that. He's kind of closed mouth, but he's showing his teeth. So we'll sit that there. All right, now, Pinhead is tied in, so I need to get my scissors here. See, how am I going to get to these? I'll go to the back, I think. Back might be the easiest. Don't want to nick the paint on this action figure and knock some of that paint off of him. That wouldn't be good. And these are hard to get to, though. NECA did not make these easy. Oh, no, we got more. We got them around the ankles, too. Around the ankles we go. So in 1987, that would have put me at around 14 years old when this movie was released, depending on what month it was. I was born in October, so I do have a birthday coming up. This Saturday, October 12th, I will be 51, I believe, 51 years old. Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and pull Pinhead out of here. Be very careful, and Pinhead has been resurrected. There he is, all his glory. Okay, can we go through articulation? Head, looking up a little bit, looking down. I got to be very careful because I don't want to break these pins on his head. So, a little bit of head movement. It's pretty good, but I'm trying to be really careful with him. And it will twist. Of course, it's going to come off. Somehow we're going to get this baby off of there. We have this shoulder that goes up. You got that single butterfly in there, and our shoulder goes all the way around. And we have, let's see, it's a double jointed elbow here. And a lot like our, who was that we opened up? Was it the creature from the Black Lagoon, I think, we opened up, and his elbows are almost exactly like that. He does have rotation at the elbow, so he can throw that Nolan Ryan fastball. He has wrists that go up and down. They go all the way around. The hands are removable. We have a hula hoop waist, no ab. No, there is an ab crunch there. Wow, hit in there very well. Looks good. We have, do we have splits? Oh yeah, we got splits. Kind of stiff there at first. Very nervous about opening them up. Got good splits, yeah. Ooh, we got straddle, really good straddles. We have knees that are tight. Oh boy, knees really tight. There we go. We got it into a little bit over a 90-degree angle, I believe. So good knee movement. Can I get this other one? Oh, that one's going to have to be heated up. Our knee does rotate around. We have ankle rocker. Yep, we got ankle rocker. I should have this out of the way. Let me get that plastic coffin out of here. And look at this. Doug Bradley. He did work on Broadway, I believe, for a little bit, so he can pirouette. Yes, sir. Pirouette. And that's it on articulation. So I have one leg. It is one knee. It's really, really tight. Very nervous about that. So we'll leave it alone for now. This head sculpt here. Now, this one is closed mouth. Just it's a glare. He's got a glare about him in this face sculpt. But, them pins look so good on there. Wow. They did an outstanding job. Very nice. Holy cow. Down to his chest, we got the blood rolling out. And where his suit is opened up, you can see the staples in there. And then he's got the string hanging out, just like in a movie. We get this navel-looking thing where that string goes into there. Geesh, looks good. And then we get this kind of gown thing that he wears. And there is a wire in there. There absolutely is a wire in here, so you can pose this how you will. You can have it opened up, or you can bring it down like that. That's probably how I would pose him, right like that. But yeah, this is well stitched, and there is wire all the way up it, all the way down the bottom, and back up the other side. So a lot of wiring in here. A lot of wiring. And it's kind of a, not quite a mesh, but kind of is a mesh. Hard to explain. But man, this looks good. The black is kind of really shiny, like a really high gloss on him, on his clothes. His face is kind of that pale white or almost blue color to it, and just so creepy looking. Really nice. All black boots, black pants, that same high gloss. Jeesh, looks good. I gotta say it again. will tear your soul apart. Yeah, I like it. Doug Bradley did a heck of a job. Did such a good job that they kept calling him and calling him and calling. I think he was in 7 or 8 of the Hellraisers. So he made quite a career out of this. Him and Clive Barker must have had a pretty good relationship. He may have even worked with him on Broadway. But so good, so good. All right, so now what we're going to try next is we're going to try to get this head off. Now, reading those directions, it said grab the ears. And, oh, that came right off. That came right off. And that is a totally different head than what we're used to on these NECAs. There is not a ball on there. It is just a pin. A pin for Pinhead. No ball at all in there, so it just up and down, slides right on. So they were thinking, they thought, well, how are we going to let people get this head off there without destroying these pins? Well, that's how you do it. And it says just wiggle back and forth and press down while you're holding his ears, and there you go. Got this one back on. So, yeah, look at that one. Now, I don't know. Which one do I like better? This one, he's giving it that. I think I like the other one maybe a slightly better, but they both look outstanding. Now, I will notice on this one, some of my nails are bent over on this one. So, I think I will definitely display them with this one because these are all straight on this one. But a lot of my pins on this one are bent over. I don't know if that's from being in this plastic case or what. But yeah, tons of them. I'll get a close-up and hopefully you'll be able to pick the ones that's bent over out. I mean, it doesn't look awful. You got to kind of look for it. But I think with maybe a little bit of heat, might be able to straighten these. One of them is bent over like I was hammering a board, putting a nail on a board, and I hit halfway and bent over on me. That one is super bad. But very, very good Pinhead from Hellraiser. Now, let's see how he holds this puzzle box. So we get the puzzle box, we put that in his hand. There you go. He's holding a puzzle box. The other hand, get this other puzzle box. There you go. It stands up, starts moving by itself, and that other realm opens up, and Frank is a dead man. Now, I wouldn't mind seeing them give Frank, well, if you look at this movie, or if you have seen this movie, you know what I'm talking about. That would be one heck of an action figure of Frank in his transformation of coming back to life. That would be a good action figure, I think. Very, very detailed. It might be hard to do. He'd kind of look like that if you had that poster in your school where it showed a human anatomy, but it didn't have skin. That's kind of what he looked like. So you could see the muscles and stuff. That's kind of what Frank looked like in the movie. All right, so there's the puzzle boxes in his hand, and we'll pull these two hands off. They were kind of handshake. Now, let's get a handshake in. That's about how they are. So we'll put this other one on. This is our right hand, and this is our left hand. And this one looks like it could also be a puzzle box holder. And almost exact same hand. Almost. Especially the left hand. Let me see here. I mean, these are so close. I think they gave us, no, they're slightly different. But man, they are really close. Now this one is a lot different. This one could hold, is this holding this puzzle box? I don't know, but it's slightly curled up. It looks like it should hold something. But I'm not sure what it would hold. But very nice, very nice. All right, so there's those hands. Now I'll get pictures of all our hands here. Then this other one is our tight grip hand here. Right and left tight grip. First one we're going to do is we're going to try to get this hook in his hand. Now, I need to watch the movie a little closer and see if all these weapons had these key rings hanging off of them, which I imagine they probably did. So we're going to open his hand up just slightly, enough to get this hook in there, and it's not wanting to go. But pliable hands enough to open them up and then get that grip on that thing. Not the best grip in the world. I don't know if I don't think I'll have him holding any of these weapons on my shelf. I think he's going to be holding the puzzle box, one of those. Now the other one is his grip is not tight enough to hold any of them. Yeah, he's got it. He's got a couple of his weapons, and then we got the saw. Let's see. Let's take the hook out. I'm trying to be careful with these weapons so I don't pull that key ring off here. I'm calling it a key ring. Now this movie is one that I usually fall asleep to. Not that it's bad, but I'm usually falling asleep. And my wife the next morning will say, I can't believe you put that on again last night, made me watch it. How my wife does that, I don't know. As soon as I put a movie on, I want to fall asleep. My wife, she'll come home and say, I am so tired. So tired. I want to watch a movie. And then she'll watch the whole daggone thing. I never could do that. Best time for me to watch a movie is in the morning. As soon as I wake up and I'm refreshed, that's when I want to watch a movie. And that's what I do a lot of times. She'll put the movie on. I'll watch, 20 minutes of it, fall asleep. Next morning, I'll get up and finish it. Yeah, looks good. There he is with his saw in his hand. He's going to be cutting some people up. But the Cenobite Pinhead, very, very good. But yeah, the weapons, don't know if I really need these. Like I mentioned, I'm going to display them with that puzzle box. Now that's iconic. That the puzzle box is as iconic as Pinhead is, in my opinion. But yeah, let's call some Cenobites. Let's do it. Let's take these hands back off because I want the first hands he had on. Put them back on because I'm going to do some still pictures. And I like starting where the action figures started. So I'll change his head too, and put his other head back on. But that's going to be it. Thanks for watching. Really, really appreciate it. Love you guys. Keep them comments coming in. Tell me I'm stupid. Tell me that my channel stinks and I don't know what I'm talking about or whatever you want to do. But I love you guys. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up. And for NECA, for Hellraiser, for Pinhead, Doug Bradley, until next time, oh yeah.